People that want to be noticed in a huge truck-based SUV usually have a Cadillac Escalade on their shopping list. For years, it's been the go-to choice for someone looking for a stylish SUV featuring a distinctive and elegant yet muscular presence. The fourth generation of Cadillac's biggest vehicle brought enhancements to its technology, quality, and design. And for 2017, the Escalade sees a couple of more added features for this model year. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2017 Cadillac Escalade ESV. Now, the Cadillac Escalade has always been one of my favorite vehicles, and back in the early 2000s, it was featured in many MTV music videos. And it wasn't until 2002 when the second generation debuted is when everybody wanted and had to have one. And ever since then, the Cadillac Escalade has been a huge success for the Cadillac brand. Now, I love the styling of this fourth generation Escalade that debuted in 2015, and it features pretty daring styling with its bold front presence with its really huge massive grille, and then you also do have some pretty good looking LED headlights too. And overall, it's not a bad looking vehicle, and really nothing looks like it on the road, and it certainly has its own unique styling. Now here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. You have your lock, unlock, your remote engine start. You also do have your power tailgate button, as well as your panic alarm. Our model is also the ESV model, which is the extended length version of the Escalade, which features more cargo space and more space for the third row occupants. Now, this color of the Escalade is known as the dark granite metallic. It's a beautiful looking color here. You also do have smart key access on all four doors of the vehicle. And you do have power deploying running boards, and trust me, you're gonna want that because getting in and out of the Escalade can be a tough task sometimes. And you also do have the jet black leather interior. In our Escalade ESV we have here is also the premium luxury trim, and you have your power driver seat with power recline as well as power lumbar. Alright, now stepping on inside of the Escalade certainly has one of the best interiors out of any truck-based SUV. I mean, it's just beautifully designed. I mean, look at the stitching on the dashboard, and then you have the suede, and then the wood grain trim. And overall, it's a very high quality and a stylish modern interior. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 6.2 liter V8. You have a full leather wrap steering wheel. Now coming to your transmission, you have an 8-speed automatic transmission with an old school column mounted shifter. And you also do have lower gear selection. When you put the vehicle into reverse, this will display your rear view camera. And as you can see here, you also do have a top down view, and you do have a front view camera too. And then you have guidance lines. You could turn that on or off if you would like. And you have front and rear parking sensors, and when you're about to hit something, the seat will actually vibrate to warn you if you're about to hit something, so that's pretty cool. And let's go ahead and turn on the headlights and the hazards. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the Escalade. And all four windows are fully automatic. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators, and you also do have blind spot detection. Now, not much has changed for the 2017 model year for the Escalade, except for that there is the addition of a couple more features, including a new teen driver monitoring system. You also do have a new rear seat reminder system that reminds you to take your child out if you haven't, so you don't leave them in the hot car. And then also you have the new streaming rear view mirror that's borrowed from the Cadillac CT6. And you'll also find 22-inch alloy wheels that look fantastic. And I love how the wheels aren't overdone in terms of styling. They look just right. You also do have LED headlights with automatic high beams. and LED daytime running lights. I'm surprised there's no LED turn signal indicators, but they have that on the GMC Yukon, which the Escalade is based off of. Now, powering the big brawny Escalade is a very strong V8 engine that produces 420 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 460 pound-feet of torque at 4,100 RPM, with EPA estimates being 15 in the city and 20 on the highway with our four-wheel drive model. That's actually not too bad considering how big this vehicle is and how much power it has as well. This powertrain can also tow up to 8,300 pounds. So if you got a big boat or a big trailer, the Escalade can certainly do the job. Now, competitors of the Cadillac Escalade, you have the vehicles in the full-size luxury SUV class. This includes the likes of the Lincoln Navigator, the Lexus LX, and the Land Rover Range Rover. Total vehicle price for our particular Escalade, you're looking at $91,735. And the parts content information, final assembly point is in Arlington, Texas. And country of origin for the engine and transmission is from the United States. EPA estimates, like I said, 15 city, 20 on the highway. And coming to the rear of the Escalade, you have vertical stacked LED taillights, which kind of have a vampire look to it. And then you also do have a LED third brake light, as well as a hidden rear window wiper located right there. And a hidden trailer tow hitch too. All of your basic power necessities, power windows, mirrors, and your door locks. The mirrors also do power fold. And your memory seat settings for 2 people located right here. Interior quality in the Escalade is excellent. However, I wouldn't say it's as good as the Lexus LX, but it's certainly competitive for the class. There's plenty of soft touch points inside of the interior, like up here on the upper door panel. I love the suede here. And then you also do have a soft touch armrest, that's to be expected. Dashboard is all soft touch. I mean, everything you'd expect is soft touch. And build quality is pretty good. Not many panel gaps inside of here, and everything feels sturdy for the most part. Overall, interior quality is really good in the Escalade. It's much better than the last generation Escalade. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, love the steering wheel here. Love the wood grain trim, certainly adds contrast. It is also heated by just pressing on this button. And you have your Bluetooth phone controls, cruise control. You also do have forward collision alert. Adaptive cruise control is also available on the Escalade. And you do have steering wheel mounted audio controls and your controls for the TFT instrument cluster. Up here, you also do have an auto dimming rear view mirror, and you have the new streaming rear view mirror. I love that feature. I mean, I wish they would put that on more vehicles. It's a really excellent feature. Pretty useful too. Provides a nice, crisp, clear view. And then you also do have your map lights, which are LEDs, and your garage home link, OnStar, and your sunroof with your sunroof controls. Down here, you'll also find 2 USB charging ports and a 12-volt power outlet, as well as dual cup holders. And then you have a huge center console. You can also get a cool box inside of here to store drinks inside of. But if you don't get that, then you get this massive center console. You could probably store a purse or a laptop case inside of here. And it also is has LED lights inside of here. You also do have 2 USB charging ports and an auxiliary input, as well as a 12-volt power outlet. The seats in the Escalade are also very comfortable and pretty supportive. Great for long road trips, decent amount of thigh support. You can also get massaging front seats if you would like. Plenty of visibility. The front windows here with large exterior mirrors, and seeing out of the windshield is pretty easy too. At least the rear view camera does come as standard equipment, and there's plenty of visibility out of the back too, but this is a really long and a big vehicle, so I would suggest using your rear view camera, but at least it does come as standard equipment. I also love the Bose audio sound system that comes with the Escalade here. It provides pretty crisp and clear audio quality. It sounds amazing. You also do have a heads-up display, and it shows you things like your digital speedometer, and it also shows you your speed limit too. You can adjust the brightness, and it can adjust the height of it. It could display different information like what radio station is playing, and then your direction of travel, as well as your tachometer. Pretty cool. Now, coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster here, it's a TFT instrument cluster. Fantastic looking setup with crisp and clear quality. I love the graphics behind it. The rendering is excellent too. And it's all controlled by this button on the steering wheel. Coming over here, shows you your vehicle information such as your battery voltage, your oil pressure, engine hours, transmission fluid, and then your trip information, your direction of travel, fuel range, oil life percentage, tire pressure, fuel economy. It gives you a little bar graph and your average speed. Plenty of information right there. And then right here you have your speedometer, you have your digital speedometer, and then it also shows you your speed limit. And then right here you have your audio. It shows you what song is playing. You have your radio media, and then your direction of travel and your Bluetooth phone. If you have a phone connected, you have your options. You could change your units from US to metric. You have your info pages. You could change the display layout from balanced to enhanced, which is pretty cool. I personally like the balanced though. Then you also do have your heads-up display rotation, speed warning. You could set that on or off if you would like. But overall, love this TFT instrument cluster. And then down here you also find your fuel gauge too. Now coming over here, you do have your power adjustable pedals, which can help out quite a lot for shorter drivers. And you have your traction control off mode, and then you have your different driver selectable modes. You have your tour, sport, and your snow and ice. And then right here you have your glove box, and it's slam with felt, very high quality. And you have your lane departure warning, your parking sensors button, and you also do have an automatic parking system, so this vehicle can actually park itself, and that's a new feature for 2017. And right here you will find your climate controls. You have dual zone automatic climate control, you have your temperatures, and these are touch sensitive buttons right here. And you have your fan speeds, of course, heated seats and ventilated front seats for the driver and the front passenger, and your recycling mode. It's pretty easy to figure out. And you can lift this up, and that'll reveal a USB charging port down there. Pretty cool. Now coming to the head unit and the main infotainment system, this is the Cadillac CUE interface. We've seen this many times here before, and it can be a little finicky to use at times. Now let's get to the home screen. Just by pressing on this button right here, it'll bring you to the home screen. And coming to your audio sources, your different audio sources do include all of the norm. You do have AM, FM, XM satellite radio with HD radio, Bluetooth streaming audio, and your USB port with iPod integration, as well as your auxiliary input. Then you have your phone. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone, view your recent calls, view your voicemail, and you can store all your contacts on here too. You have an integrated dial pad. And then your projection features for your Apple CarPlay as well as your Android Auto. Then you also do have your digital clock as well as your exterior temperature readout. And this Cadillac CUE system also features 4G LTE Wi-Fi. And then we have your navigation system. The map quality is okay. I wouldn't say it's the best map quality, especially for a $90,000 vehicle, but it does have 3D rendering of buildings, and it does show live traffic and your points of interest, and you can enter in your destination by voice. It does all it needs to do. And then you have your settings, you have your time and date, your rear seat reminder, video voiceover, and your language. You could change your language if you would like. Your vehicle, teen driver, valet mode, your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, many different settings that you could change here. And you have your climate settings. You could control the climate settings from here if you don't want to do it by the buttons down there. Live weather shows you a 5-day forecast or hourly. Then you could change the location. And then your video for your rear seat entertainment system. You have to insert a disc, of course. And I love how you could swipe like this, like a tablet. It feels very natural. You have your SMS text messaging function. Of course, you have to have your smartphone connected. And your live traffic. It shows you a list of all the traffic incidents. Then you have your OnStar, your collection for your apps, and your rear seat climate controls. You can control that from here. And then your camera, you can access that anytime you would like, which is pretty cool. But overall, love the Cadillac CU interface, except for that it can be a little finicky to use at times. They certainly have improved it a whole lot ever since it debuted a few years ago. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the Escalade. Let's go and check out the rest of the vehicle. If you are interested in the way this vehicle drives, I suggest checking out my 2017 GMC Yukon Denali review, as these vehicles drive very similar, and I filmed a road test of the GMC Yukon review. Let's go and check out the rear seat passenger space as well as the cargo space. Materials and build quality do follow through in the rear, of course. And what I love about SUVs is that they do have captain's chairs, and that makes access into the third row a whole lot easier. Now, sitting back here in the Escalade, I'm actually surprised there's no manual rear window sunshades or anything like that, but there's plenty of rear seat legroom back here, and there's plenty of headroom too. You also do have a rear DVD entertainment system. And you will find heated rear seats back here, as well as your climate controls, and you have 2 USB charging ports, as well as a little storage cubby. And you have these little armrests right here too. Makes it for a very comfortable experience. Great road trip vehicle. And like I said, access into the third row is really nice because you have this walkway with the captain's chairs. Alright. You do have a power tailgate. Now, one thing I'm not a huge fan of not only the Escalade, but Chevrolet's Tahoe, Suburban, and GMC's Yukon, is that they have a high load floor, and that makes it a little hard getting cargo in and out of the cargo area. But you do have power folding third row seats here. Very convenient. And just by the push of a button, you can also fold the second row seats. Pretty cool. And back here you also find a 12-volt power outlet. Now, the reason why you get an ESV is to have more cargo space back there, and if you get a regular Escalade, then you certainly won't have as much cargo space with the third row seats up. But with the third row seats up in the ESV model, you still have a decent amount of cargo space back there, and there's a decent amount of leg room back here. And what I love is that my knees don't come all the way up like how it would in the regular Escalade, due to the floor being raised up in the regular Escalade. And you also do have a rear seat DVD entertainment system back here too. You have another screen back here, which is pretty cool. And you have cup holders and a 12-volt power outlet. The seats themselves are pretty comfortable too. All right. So even though it may not ride as smooth as a car-based crossover SUV, the 2017 Cadillac Escalade is still a pretty good choice for a full-size luxury SUV with this combination of style, utility, and luxury. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.